Guys, it's Lightship on it here, bringing you some fresh new memes. Today we're doing Konosuba, the show that shouldn't be good but is instead great. Uh, well,
If you
as you
like
can see from
memes.
I love memes. As you can see from the lineup here today,
I've
we
always
are
been a fan of
missing.
memes.
You learned that from me, I'm sure. You are missing. We are missing the usually present Elpres. He's off doing stuff. I'm not sure what he's doing, but we'll leave him to that. But
It
Tim
wasn't
Tom's
here
here.
a second ago?
No, he's not been here the whole time. He just hasn't been on this call. All
Okay.
right.
I'm,
So
I'm very
he's
confused now.
so we do have a last minute substitute for him, but before that we have Tim Tom the Bim Bom as usual.
Hello!
We have Solid B fresh from Australia or wherever it is he's from.
Yeah.
And we've got
I'm
J
here
Dubs,
for some
the
reason.
only person here who's actually like placed with Konosuba and JP.
Hello.
And we have the replacement
Fuck
for
you.
El Prez. This guy's so salty. The replacement for El Prez, Dr. Pike, who I am assured is a real doctor.
Yeah?
Hi, Kazuma desu.
All right, so we're doing Konosuba Yellow. Hopefully we'll get Red and Blue out soon. But before we do that, the spiel on ratings as usual. So ratings, good cards, they're good. You play them in your deck because they do good things. You often start them in your deck list, and they're often 4-0s, unless they're extremely powerful late game cards, in which case they might not be, but still sometimes are. Next down is the playable rating. The playable rating comprises of most cards, which are at least functional in multiple decks. These are the role players, because you need level 0s, 1s, and 3s, sometimes 2s in white shorts, and therefore you will need some of these. Niche cards only go on specific decks. Niche is our next rating for the new people among us. And those are basically decks we don't think will be the meta deck, but may be good enough in a specific deck only. So they won't go into lots of decks, but they will go into at least one sort of deck. Finally, we have the bad rating, which, look, I don't need to baby you. I'm sure you can tell what bad means. These cards actively make your deck worse, or they are clearly outclassed by another card, just strictly worse than another card. And then we also have the meta rating, which is basically a special sticker, a gold star we put on cards that are so good that it makes you want to play the deck. These are few and far between, and oftentimes we go through sets without even putting any meta ratings on our cards. And then we also have a bunch of meme ratings, but let's just ignore them for now. And anyway, let's get started with the first card. This is a... my thingy crashed. Anyway, this is a Chris. It is a 001k. During your turn, your character in the front row center slot gains 1,500 power, a pretty sizable boost. And then you've got a pay 1, tap 2 Brainstorm. Flip 4 for each climax. You search for 1 yellow, which means you can get any yellow character, or adventurer trait, so yellow adventurer or yellow adventurer, then add it to your hand. Pretty typical Brainstorm. Will this see play?
Yeah, probably.
In any yellow focus deck, this is probably the brainstorm of choice. In the other,
If you
like
don't
red,
need to search for goddesses is also probably fine.
If you don't need to search for Goddess, we already have a yellow tap 2
Yeah,
Brainstorm.
that's what I'm saying.
Though
So-
that one didn't really have a applicable secondary effect.
yeah. Well, this has a useful first effect, especially because you have an on-reverse combo one. If you're on yellow focus, and like red needs something to search magic because Wiz is only magic and not adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, this
So
card
red
really
wants something
gets-
else, but yellow wants this, and blue is just its own thing for the most part.
Aqua's adventure.
Like, I don't
right?
think you splash blue a lot in anything, to be
Aqua
honest.
is Adventurer, but Eris is not. The notable card that is not Adventurer and is also yellow is Veneer, right?
Isn't
He's the only
Vanilla
card.
is yellow? Vanilla is yellow,
Yes,
and he
that's
has
it.
magic. Vanilla is
Yeah.
searchable by everything.
Yes, he's searchable by this because he's yellow, and he's searchable
Yeah.
by the Cosmo because he's magic. I'm pretty sure he's magic anyway.
Yeah,
He's
So,
magic.
yeah,
Yeah, he's mad.
but this is the card you play over the Cosmo simply because it has a relevant secondary effect. Cosmo's mediocre climax combo was never played by anybody as far as I knew.
yeah.
So,
you play Cosmo if you're playing that. Megami, I guess.
No, you play Kazuma because he was meant for darkness.
Alright, so this card is like I don't know, it's
Just playable, right?
it's a playable plus, it's a
Yeah,
brainstorm.
playable plus.
It's a brainstorm. Can't
Definitely
say anything
relevant.
about
Brainstorm
it.
suck.
Alright,
You
Mister.
suck.
I hate brainstorms.
Didn't even come first. Next card. Iron War Crusader Darkness is a 1045. When this attacks, if you have another card with Adventure or Magic, it gains 1/5 for the turn, so it is a repeatable 6k beater, but only on your turn, otherwise it is a puny 4/5. And a Climax combo, when you... No, that's not what the name is. When the battle opponent of this reversed, if you have the wind in the Climax zone, search your deck for an Adventure or Magic trait, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this gets everything, right? Like, everything except Eris specifically is gotten by this.
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't get areas, but everything else you should be able to get. And except for like the random off-trade characters.
So this isn't a particularly good level 1 combo, not by my books. It's only like, it's 7k, maybe 8/5 in the center if you have the Chris Brainstorm. Is there a reason why I'm playing this over something like Set 1 Union or...
You run the double drop search.
Well, set 1 Union only fetches magic and needs you to like focus on magic. This basically allows you to build your deck however you want.
You get this from
Yep.
double drop searcher, right?
Yeah, you can get this off the double drop searcher.
It's pretty good.
Very
It's,
Is
valuable.
that a good enough reason?
Yeah,
Like,
but what's the
It's-
second
it's
target?
alright.
Is it the brainstorm?
Say that again. Sorry.
What's your second target? Is it the brainstorm? Because the second target for drop search has to be Chris, right?
Well, the drop searcher just searches for up to 2 characters with either basically darkness or Chris.
So
can
you don't
search-
have to do
Yeah, so you
one
just-
darkness,
you can-
one
yeah.
Oh, that makes it
Yeah.
way better then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Sure.
Is that a good enough play to make this your level 1 of choice though, just because you have a double drop searcher?
Yeah, because
It can be.
I think your options to get
No.
multiples of your level 1 combos in other decks aren't that great.
If you
Well,
run
well,
the
I
human
actually-
advantage,
but,
it's pretty
like
good
the
too.
thing is,
Well,
blue,
there's another combo in yellow that I actually prefer because you need a lot of
Sure.
the back row, because you need a bit
Right,
more
so,
deck manipulation. Not the brainstorm, but look at top 4. Attica. You need a bit more
I
deck
actually
manipulation
don't like
due to the context of the change combo that we'll mention later on. And so though this can search everything needed, the lack of defensive power is a bit of a concern for me. Since
I mean, look, that's aside from exactly Attack on Titan, what level 1 combo doesn't just kind of die on the backswing?
most of them do, but at least when I went into nationals, being able to survive or counter over certain level 1 counters could actually set a lot of decks behind. They're not able to be as consistent.
But what are examples of decks that do that?
The most important one at nationals was Vivid Strike. It usually hit 8/5 power in one lane, 7k in the other. If you were able to be over that on the defensive swing, prevent them from getting the searches off, prevent them from having a decent amount of hand size.
Yeah, okay, but what deck does their Climax come and then does that except for Milky Homes and maybe Rewrite?
I guess that's my question. It's
what?
obviously good to stop them from getting their combo off, but if we're talking about the darkness, if we're evaluating it and saying one of its weaknesses is it never lives on the backswing, my question is, can we really say that if there is no level 1 plus in combo that survives reasonably well? Like Talavru does, but that's because of Encore, not because of a counter.
Yeah, most of the level 1 plus in combos do not survive the backswing. But between the first and second set, there are some different deck choices you can make to, and with the context of the other plus combo you can use in this deck, build a level 1 game that can survive a backswing.
You don't even have 2k counters.
The 1/5 counter is good enough with the cards I mentioned.
2k and 1/5 aren't actually that different. Like
They're
obviously
actually the difference is huge. also not sure which cards you're talking about because the darkness change doesn't get big.
The darkness change does not get big.
I'm interested. You say the difference is huge. Why is the difference huge? What makes the difference huge? Give me an example.
Because like the difference between 8.5 and 9K and between 8K and 8.5 is already pretty big.
Yeah, but
and usually like the 2K counter makes it exactly so you're 9K because usually your level 1s are 7K, 6.5 and like an assist or something.
Isn't this
what card that tries to wall on defense hits exactly 7K and not like 7.5 or higher? Like every deck that tries to wall on defense usually hits 7.5 or higher, or has a 3K counter.
Well, this is dedicated wall decks, right? But like I'm usually talking like 6.5s with an assist behind, which is something like random decks run as filler, like LE clones, and then there's like a 500 assist behind them. And then the 2K counter makes them hit 9K.
So like guilty crown.
So the card I use currently that I've been testing is the first set has a 1/1 7/5 500 for every back row zombie. So it sits at 8/5 before counter defensively, while still being able to have the back row plus combo that you can use on it. That can pump it offensively to absurdly higher numbers, and with counter it puts it up to 10K.
Yeah, in that case, I'm pretty sure 1.5 and 2K aren't actually that different.
Yeah. In that case, like 1.5 and 2K don't really matter that much, though. Tilabru, like some decks get over or whatever.
I mean, be realistic. No one plays Tilabru anymore. That's like
I still play Tilabru, but
you're one person.
It's the regional I went to. There was 2 Tilabrus.
Okay, but out of how many people?
I think that was a 24-man regional.
It's actually a pretty good representation, but I mean, it's not a huge regional either. Yeah, either way, look, that's fair enough. I guess my point in the end is that I don't think it's fair to say that this card will never survive on the swingback, because aside from exactly Eren, I don't think any plus-in combos really survive on the swingback. This is a plus-in combo. It's 7K on offense, which is like, I get that you have the brainstorm. It seems
it's like the baseline thing. Like almost every plus-in combo is 7K on offense, right?
You can compare it to the Vivid Strike plus-in combo, but this one technically is reusable.
Vivid Strike is what? It's exactly 7K on offense as well?
Yeah.
Yes, it's 7K.
Is also 7K. Like 7K is the usual baseline for this type of effect.
But the thing about Vivid Strike is it has the 1/5 tap back row, right?
Yes.
That kind of changes everything.
Well, it has. It only has. You have the brainstorm. Yeah, the brainstorm. You're only running one of the 1/5 tap back row because you have to have your brainstorm and Vivid Strike.
Yeah.
So you have selection to pump 1/5 and Vivid Strike, where this is only in center.
You also run the old Takitsubo, and that gives point.
Yeah, that's the one that I usually use.
Yeah, Takitsubo.
Yeah, you also have Takitsubo. Yeah, if you're running this, you are using Takitsubo.
Yeah, of course, but you're using Takitsubo on like everything, right? I mean, Japan won't, but most decks that run these will.
Not in.
I don't think you run it in Magic. I don't think you run it in. You might run it in Goddess. I don't think you run it.
You don't run it in Magic anymore.
I think you can definitely run it in Magic just to like splash for 1 year, anyways, because the cards still reach pay 1, clock 1, +2.
In combination, in the variant I'm running, I have 2 variants of this deck, and one of the 2 variants. The one I've had more success with, I'm not running the Takitsuba because the combination of the new Riki-esque card you get later on and the drop 2 searcher, you have enough filter and enough plus to be able to get the other cards you need consistently, and have a very consistent like plus combo going into like turn 2 and 3.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So, look, given that you're probably the only person who's tested this to any real extent, how do you feel about this in terms of, our rating scale?
For me personally, it's probably a playable plus.
Yeah, fair enough. That sounds reasonable. I mean, that's probably where I'd put it as well, because like it's nothing super special, but if it does go off, it does everything that you want your plus and combo to do, and yeah, it's more than fine if you ask me. It's nothing special, but it's more than fine.
It's like playable, and it gets the plus because it's darkness.
All right.
Sure. So next card, okay, we get to the spicy stuff now. Duke of Hell, Vanilla, 3285. During your turn, it is a 10-5, it gains 2k power. Up to once a turn, when this is placed from hand or via change to the stage, when damage dealt by this is cancelled, Musashi. So you mill the top card of your deck, deal X, where X is 1 plus the level of the milled card. And then, at the start of your opponent's draw phase, you may change, well, technically it's not a change, it's an auto ability. Put this in the waiting room and place a Power of the Mask Darkness in this card's slot, and that card gains 2/5 power. So that card is it's a rare, I believe, and we'll come to it fairly soon. But it's a field swap that also has the superior scry ability. Yes, that thing. And can also change back to this. So the thing that people went nuts about was that this is it's a repeatable Musashi. This is so broken. This is every single turn you get a Musashi. I mean, I guess they're not wrong.
Level 3 doesn't last that long. Like, the interesting part is that you get a finisher and then get a defensive ability all in once, basically.
Yeah.
This can come out early. This can come out early, remember.
Yeah, and
I'm not saying it's good to get it out early, I'm just saying it can, so let's not forget about that.
It can be good if it gets out early and the opponent doesn't play wins.
I mean, well...
it's not a guarantee that you're supposed to play wins.
If that's your only argument against it being bad, then I think this is very good.
I never mentioned this being bad. I think this is pretty decent, good.
It's an extremely solid card. It can be a little risky, depending on like the matchups and everything. But if you are able to, get into the change, be in like halfway through level 1 or earlier, the defensive part, personally, is will have you survive an extra turn or two to make up for the stock that you pay out going into the change. You do have to play around. You have some deck manipulation to make sure that you have the change targets in the waiting room or to swap back and forth, which is a bit of the complication of the deck because through refresh you can have some issues. But the extra damage push, plus the fact that you get it out at can have it out at level 1 before most decks are able to deal with it and get value out of it.
Have it out at level 0.
Nice me.
Well, there are 2 modes to this card, right? One mode is building
you have an
level
offensive
1, and then the other mode is playing this just as like a level 3 suite. So we can talk a little bit about
that,
both.
I mean,
because I think
right?
the 2 are they're like different decks basically.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That's the thing. At worst, this is like a Musashi, right? This is a literal Musashi at the very worst.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to split it up again because there's like decks that are just gonna splash the Musashi for this Musashi thing and don't care about the change part. And then there's decks that will
care about the change
focus
part because what happens is you pay the change cost and then you just.
Yeah, I guess it's also Musashi that just stacks itself. That's also pretty good.
Is that my side or? Is that my side or sell it?
That's definitely your side.
What's happening?
Like I mean, well, I don't know what was said because I cut out apparently, but okay. I think they will change it because it's like Conga, right? You can just attack with this direct and then sack it at their draw step, and that's one reverse target gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Alf, you're so funny, man.
That's like that. It's worth more than nothing.
It is mandatory to change if you do pay the cost if the target's in the waiting room. It's not you may. It's you may pay cost, but if you have the target in the waiting room, you have to pull it into play.
So much.
Yeah, but what you do is not have the target in your deck, and then you'll be fine, right?
Yeah, if that's the game plan you're going for, if this is just a splashable Musashi that can dodge on reverse effects, even that in and of itself is a decent card.
That's pretty solid. Yeah.
It's probably just good.
I'm not actually super high on Musashi as a card anymore.
Well, Musashi isn't like a good finisher, but it's a good card to just put in your deck in most cases.
It's a good secondary finisher.
It is better than a vanilla level 3.
Yeah.
I Like, what decks that have
Personally.
Musashi actually end up running no copies of Musashi in their last
Charlotte.
builds, except for Charlotte?
I think most sets that have Musashi as a secondary, like 2 or 3 of finisher, will run it because you'll have your play set of your primary finisher, your early play that either functions as a healer or a additional plus, and then
Yeah.
either a
Just
secondary
don't think
finisher.
triple Musashi is gonna kill anybody, and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's just supplementary finishing power.
Bang Dream, maybe?
Yeah, probably Bang Dream. You don't really need the Musashis like exactly.
Really?
Just
Like
depends on
the
the
Yukina,
deck.
I mean, it's
like
good,
the,
but
the
depends on the
regular.
deck.
you don't have
what
to.
Not every deck
percentages
runs
of the deck
Musashi.
you see
Not every deck
all
runs
around
Musashi.
Musashi. Like it's the Yukina top end, and the secondary finisher for Yukina top end is Musashi.
Some decks don't want to splash the yellow.
That's very true. Like pooping party.
Just play the Kokoro drop search, and you're done.
Dude, not everyone wants to
Going
play
through all
drop.
this effort for Musashi? I don't know, like, if you have better options,
What's your better option?
like a CFP burn one.
Because,
Yeah.
Popping Party? You
yeah,
have
Popping
better
Party already has a
options.
decent
Well,
fit.
okay,
You
if you're
have
playing like
better options.
the 8 combo, like the Kasumi level 3, then you're probably not playing Musashi.
Exactly. Damn, I didn't think I'd agree with Tom. This is messed up.
Alright, so to recap ratings on this card, the Vanir, I guess, specifically. Or
I'm gonna
as a
call the
rating.
Vanir specifically good.
I would give it
Okay.
a rating of Kinky Plus.
okay. Dank meme from the doctor.
I'm playable plus.
I think I'm unplayable plus 2.
I want to go good minus.
Okay.
Is that a rating?
Yeah,
That's fine. That's why we have different ratings.
okay.
Okay, next card. Running off Darkness, 3/2/10k. When it comes to play, you may heal 1, and when this attacks, if you have what
Stock
is
Soul.
it? Stock Soul? Stock Soul, yeah. If you've got Stock Soul in the Climax Zone, you may pay cost of 1. If you do, choose a character and it gains 2k power, and the ability on cancel deal 2 damage. So when I first saw this card, I thought it was just a really, really bad card because it was just on cancel deal 1 damage, and that like sucks a lot.
I think it would
It was a really blurry scan.
with
really
the
blurry
knowledge
scan.
that it burns 2, I think it's pretty good actually.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
actually
I
think
it's
this
pretty
is
good.
worth playing in, well, any specifically non-magic focused deck.
Yeah.
And
This
it's
also
just
solves
really
like, because it gives power, this solves like the problem of the Vanir Musashi just being weak on attack and then needing to survive. So that can help the Vanir get over shit.
But I feel like if you have the thing about this card is I feel like if you have the third copy of this card, you'd rather just play this instead of the Musashi.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever a scenario where if you have the copies to play for this card, you would just I don't think you'd ever play this over like a copy of Musashi on your board. If you're comboing that turn.
Generally speaking, yes, unless there are stock reasons in terms of like
No, there's
I mean,
stock.
preserving
There
stock.
can't be- there can't be a
they
stock
might just
Well, no,
be at like
not
3,
stock. No, I mean
3-0 or
preserving stock
something,
for
or,
the
like
next
3,
turn.
Oh sure. Okay.
3-2.
Sure. To make your
They might
next
just
turn
be
better.
3-0 or 3-2,
Yeah.
where like burn 2s actually are not ideal burns, I guess. Or the Musashi just might have been sticking around from the turn before.
I mean,
I
like
just
it's
don't-
it's dependent on damage numbers and like calculating how much damage you need to do to finish the game. But even then, Musashi can be inconsistent. You know, it's 50% of the time it burns for 1,
Yeah.
and the other 50% it burns any other number. So if you need a burn for 1 over a burn for 2 for any at a specific stage in your attack step, then sometimes Musashi might be better. But generally speaking, a consistent burn 2 is one of the better burn numbers. I think at most stages of the game, burn 2 is like 2 damage is like the best bang for your buck you can get in terms of like climax to deck ratio, unless your opponent is really compressed or
Or they're
super
not compressed.
uncompressed, or they're not
Yeah.
compressed.
Yeah.
Or if they're really compressed, 2 is still pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's still pretty close to it.
I mean, how far removed is this from like Arl? I don't think there's actually like
I don't think it's
From, like,
significantly
what?
different
I don't think
from
compared
the
to
Puyo
like
finisher.
I think like burn 1 is like very comparable to burn 2.
Turn 1 also loses to
Uh,
Kimono, man.
Dude,
Yeah,
dude, I might
that's
have won
true.
against
That is
Rias if I actually just did 12 single
What
shots.
the? This guy's still focused on that match.
Dude, you lost.
Come on,
Just give it
man.
up, man. You give
Fuck
it up.
off.
You're a loser.
Names. All right, look. What are we rating this?
I think this is good.
This is good.
Yeah, this also
I think
seems
it's
good.
good, man. I think this is like my finisher of choice. Sometimes I like to pretend I'm playing Yukina by stacking 2 of these on an Ares.
Wait, hang on.
So,
How
yeah,
is
man.
So,
hands up anyone who's surprised that he wants this as his finisher of choice?
Dude, I have to.
Well,
like, it's too
actually,
good, man.
I guess-
Heals and finishes like a.
I mean, there
He's-
is like well, one thing that Paik mentioned that is relevant. Oh shit.
Is it the art and this kind of sucks, and that's why I don't want to play it?
Well, it's more like
But it's darkness, so I have to.
You can play this. Are there any finisher options worth playing this alongside?
Ares, man. Just don't whiff. Be good and don't whiff.
Well, you can basically the finishes you can play this alongside with are the Ares restand from set 1 and Vanir.
And there's the Megumin too, I think, if you want to play that.
The pay
That
3,
seems
ditch
bad.
2, burn 5.
Yeah.
That
Nice
seems
meme.
bad.
Yeah. Dude, she's not even nearly as good as Darkness. You know it's true.
I mean, if the burn 5 sticks, you win the game, but if it's really going to stick.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
People
Alright,
also die when they're killed. Let's move on.
I think that's reasonable. Okay, next card. We've got Sneaking Kazuma. It is a 0/0 rare, 500 power. When this is reversed... Wait, really? Is this Clock Bomb?
Or
Yeah.
No, this is stock bomb, but it
Stock
can clock swap the opponent. So to lock them out of a color, it's like a sniper thing.
Okay.
It's more cute than actually good.
Played against LB. Prof.
When we're finished with this card, I want to harp back to the darkness for 1 second and Tavania.
Okay, sure. Let's quickly rate this card because it's nothing too special.
Sure.
When this dies,
It's
you may
like-
swap the opponent's top clock card with their waiting room. You move the top card of their clock to waiting
No,
room.
you
then-
choose any
No,
card.
you
from
choose.
that
You can
clock.
choose any card.
choose.
Oh, you
That's
choose
why.
a card.
Dude, it's
Alright,
Judge
sure.
Nemo, man.
Sure. And then the other ability is Stock Bomb. But I just want to address that as someone.
Oh shit.
1-0. Okay.
Sorry,
I'll
you
just
have to-
probably play that other Ricky. I'm
You're
holding.
gonna have to repeat that because my internet's being
Okay, sure.
a little
Sure.
problematic.
Chance that's my internet, to be honest. So basically, as someone who actually plays these 2-color level 1 decks, sniping away a color is like, I don't really care. Like, if you snipe away my green, then I'll probably have a climax to clock. If you snipe away my yellow, then I'll probably have some other yellow to clock because I see you're going to snipe away my yellow. And if you're going to stick me at 1-0 and snipe away one of my colors, well, that was going to be a problem anyway, and I've probably just got a Ricky I'm going to play. So, like, don't overvalue that effect. I don't think it actually does anything of value. Whereas the stock bomb thing is like, it's a 500 power stock bomb, that's fine. It, like, bodies Kaban, that's about it, really.
Okay.
Sounds hot.
Yep.
Playable.
Basically it.
Yeah, I'm like, this is like not a terrible card by any means, but playable minus is where I put it. I don't think it's actually got much more text aside from being a 500 power stock bomb.
Yeah, and I
it's
think
playable.
500 power stock
Yeah.
bombs are niche.
That's one way to look at it. You want to say something about the darkness?
Oh.
Yeah, there are situations where you value the, like, especially if you already healed down to 3-0, having the swap into the defense grab.
Oh my fucking god.
It's third or second copy of the darkness climax combo.
Repeat that again.
Yeah.
Sorry. Fuck.
Like,
Oh, okay.
especially if you
Sorry,
already
because
healed
I
down
heard him
3-0, then the Vanir changing into the field swap might be a lot more beneficial to you than actually like doing multiples of this climax combo. You might not finish the
Obviously, if
opponent
they're, like,
regardless
freeze
anyways, or you might be unfavored to finish the opponent and then giving you the extra ability to survive, especially against on-attack shots, might just be very desirable for you.
Okay. Sure. That's more than fair. Like, you just maximize the value you get out of things.
Okay, now I'm done.
All right. So next card is another Kazuma. What is going on? My page down is not working. It's a 001K, assist 500, and put this on the bottom of your library. Choose up to one beautiful goddess of water aqua in your hand with a level equal to or lower than your level, and put it in any slot on stage. I'm pretty sure that card is it's the 3/2, right?
It's the clock kick.
Yes.
Yeah, it's early play and ditch.
No, it's not the clock
It's not the
kick.
clock kick?
No,
Is it
no,
the
no,
healer?
no,
Yeah.
it's the early play. It's the early play.
It's the early
Okay.
play.
It's the early,
And
early
so
play healer, right?
there's an issue with this. You actually do have to have a full field when trying to early play, because when you put him on the bottom of the library, if you don't have a completely full field, she'll lose her -1 level in hand. Yeah.
Wait, does it actually work that way? Don't they trigger at the same time?
No,
No,
Aqua's a
because they
continuous
check
effect.
on. Yeah, they
Continuous
check.
abilities
Aqua's on
are-
continuous. So as soon as they lose that ability, it no longer fulfills criteria, and it is no longer a character with level equal to or lower than your level. So you do need the full thing.
Yeah. Continuous
this is
abilities just like are faster than.
This is just the worst version of like the Persona ones, right? Because you can lock this one out like Tomo and Kanasa.
Well, this is
not an
also worse in a sense because you have to go neck 2, but you actually get a stock for early playing, which is interesting.
yeah,
but
that
not
is
good.
interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure it's good, but it is interesting.
I mean, in the context of
Like, if
the
you had-
blue deck, or in the context of if you're using the blue plus combo, the new blue plus combo, the neg 2 isn't that much of an issue. But the full field requirement can sometimes be an issue depending on the state of your hand, because basically the back row card that you're going to replace this with, you have to have ready to go, and as well as any other cards you need to play to the stage from your characters being reversed. So it's the amount you're minusing on top of the fact that you're going neg 2 just to get the heal.
I feel like you'd rather play the Eris as your early play in the blue deck, right?
Yes.
I think I have to agree with that.
Well,
It's
if you're
bad.
playing a different blue deck,
Yeah,
like
if you're
not-
playing like an aqua deck, sure. Like an Aqua Cosmo OTP deck or something.
Yeah.
I made it a goal when I
Let's
got
not.
Konosuba 2 to use every double R in a deck, and I've not been able to find a good deck for this card yet.
This just seems like a fine splash. Like, not this, but the Aqua just seems like a fine splash heal.
This just sounds
Because, like, the
disgusting,
Konosuba
man.
heals actually kind of suck, anyways.
I actually kind of just, because this one only has power on offense, and if I'm splash healing, I actually just kind of like the TD healer more. Because in
It's
the
fine
context
for
of
her, right?
like, yeah, this one only gets power on offense, and in the context of the actual competitive deck, you're early playing your Erises. Like, you're not going to be early playing this. Your hand size is too relevant to.
And
wanna
I'm
ditch a
still
card for
not
your
a
hand.
fan of early playing Eris. I think the condition is just too bad. Fuck that.
Early playing Eris.
What? You must be fucking kidding, man.
Clock is specific level 0, that's not a good level 0, it's just an awful condition.
It's
And Ares isn't even good as an early play anyways.
it's
better than this card. It's better than this Aqua. Fairly
Thank you,
sure.
Tom.
Sure.
Thank you.
But that's not a very high bar, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's not
Well,
a very
sure,
high
but in
bar.
the like, what other deck would we be talking about for like this kind of effect? Right.
Megumin still has an early pick condition where you need a specific card in clock. It's just that Eris, like the Snow Sprite, obviously isn't as good as that target.
yeah. I mean, Snow Sprite, don't get me wrong, is a terrible card, and I hate it. But the power of early playing a finisher in a very specifically sculpted deck to maintain hand size is pretty powerful. I
I
had
still
a,
don't buy into that
Eight gates, man. 8 gates.
no,
Oh,
definitely
I
not
still
8
don't
gates.
buy into fucking Ares finishing it too.
Just
Not
kill me.
definitely not
I
8
think
gates.
that's more of a meme than
I'm
an
not here to
actual
talk
thing.
about Eris.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of have to, right? She's part of the set. Anyway, let's move on to
Ratings?
the.
Niche?
Wait, we gotta rate.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, this is like niche.
Niche.
Mine.
It's niche.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's not niche minus. It's just niche. It's just niche.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so next card, Precious Thing, Chris, 0015. Climax combo, when Give Me Back My Panties, which is a 2K. Wait, is it a
2K
double
2
2K
soul.
soul?
Yeah, 2K 2 soul to yellow characters.
What?
Yeah, 2K 2 soul to yellow characters. This is the plus combo I prefer.
It's crazy. Choose another character. That character gains the ability, when this reverses something. Check the top 4, search for up to 1 yellow or adventurer, add it to your hand, ditch the rest. And, yeah, it's also got tap to give a character 1/5 for turn, so the Z3 buff. This is a plus in combo insofar as it's a back row. It's neat. Like, I think that it synergizes well with itself and its climax. Do you want 2 of these
I
on the
tend
field?
to not like these types of plus in combos because you need to have the back row and then you need to have like level 1 characters that actually reverse stuff. And then you
Is there a problem
usually
with
like
the
you only
double
have
drop
one of
searcher?
this in the back row anyways.
It's not a problem because you have
Yeah,
your
the
double drop searcher. So you can search 2 of this off the double drop server by itself. It pumps 1/5 for tapping, so you can basically get anything to reverse. And then the aforementioned 1/1 that I run in my deck sits at a base 8/5 when you have a full back row. In combination with the climax.
Sure. But like you're taking up space on the board with like your double drop searchers and stuff. And then you don't even have that much space to like put 2 of these there and then like
Oh wait, but like
2 whatever cards.
But if you're running a combo, the drop searcher's taking up space anyways. Like I don't get it. What's the difference?
You're
yeah,
running
but the level 1 combo only takes up the space for the card itself.
But
also
the
takes up
drop
space in the
searcher
background.
itself takes up space no matter what combo you're playing.
Yeah, but
the
this
way we
combo
drop-
needs more space on the board. Because
Yeah,
you
you
need
put
to
in
have
the
the back
back
row
row.
and you need to front row characters that attack.
But if you're searching for double climax, like what this? I don't understand what your point is about this card.
Christian
What
just
is
doesn't
the
like
point
those
here?
shitters,
Play
man.
to do double combo of this, you need 2 of this in the back row, then you have the double drop search, and then you have like 2
I mean,
attackers
clearly
or whatever.
clearly
If you play the
point-
double drop
clearly-
searcher with
stop.
say
Clearly
any
the
other
point
combo,
is
you
not
just
to
need
use
search
double
for
combo,
climax
right?
combo
The
pieces
point
to
is
space
you run
these
this with
attackers.
cards that win the board, and you get your pluses from this card and the cards you put on the board to be big, just that synergize with this effect.
Wait, I have a question. Can't you technically front row this one of these copies and then like give it all into one card that's really big?
But the obvious mode of this card is that you're playing alongside like big level 1 cards that'll survive and give you pluses from the board, right? You're not aiming to play double of these card. I think that's silly to evaluate this card in the context of, oh, I need 2 of this card. I think it's silly.
And even if you do get 2 of this card, it's not a bad play because even if you like don't have like another traditional back row, the cards you're comboing with have a high enough defensive power to just survive board regardless.
I can see this being really good with the 1/1 you mentioned earlier from the earlier set. It's pretty big, and then like if it's just like almost guaranteeing a verse if it's like not AOT or something.
Yeah, but
You
I don't
you
want to
push it
play
up
the
to, no,
level 1 in the first place, right?
like if you don't want to play the 1/1, that's fine, but like you're guaranteed, like with the 1/1, you're guaranteed a reverse on anything that isn't like running away.
Yeah. You also have a Shimaka in the set too, so it's really probable you're gonna get reverses.
You don't like
That is
if
true,
you-
but keep
in
in
the-
mind that anything you can say about power as far as like external power boosts, you can say the same thing about the Darkness Climax combo.
yeah.
Of course.
I would like to note that like compared to the Darkness Climax combo, your equity off a single double drop search, like you're getting your second plus, so like you're getting a double plus basically from a double drop search with the level 1 Darkness combo. Your second plus with this combo is typically going to be delayed unless you like have like the godly setup where you have like multiple, like you have another copy of this in your hand already. So
Getting a godly setup isn't too much issue with the Riki that you'll see later on because you just tend to have a bunch of cards early on.
And that's so much stock. You're spending like stock on a double drop search. You're spending stock on the double Ricky. You're spending stock on the 1/1.
I mean, you spend 1 stock at 1. You spend like 2 stock at level 0. Like you turn 2, you play like the drop searcher. Turn 3, you play. What was the like you might play like the Riki, and then you play like a 1/1. You'll usually do like 2
This seems like so much setup for what is essentially not really that big of a payoff.
It's not that much setup though.
It's not much setup.
The double drop searcher makes this work a lot better than it does in other sets, right?
I can agree with that. It's really easy with the double drop search.
Yeah, but like so much setup in terms of now he's talking about using the double Riki, then he's using the double drop search, then he's using the 1/1. That's already 3 stock tied up.
Well, I mean, you're using.
But it's.
I mean, the only additional stock you're using compared to like a combo is like the 1/1, right? And the 1/1 is meant to survive.
It's the Riki and the 1/1 because like.
No, but I mean, you're using Riki type effects in other decks too. What are you saying?
Yeah, you're always going to be using Riki if you have Riki. Period. Like it's just pure value. It's pure setup.
Okay, so this is different because if you're using the double drop search, you don't need to use Riki.
Well, no, because a drop search is a hand fix. Riki is a plus. You're running a Riki for the plus for the value to maintain hand size. You're running drop searchers for consistency of your deck to make sure you get the specific key cards you need.
That's like the thing that the double drop search basically also pluses you if it fixes you 2 of the climax combo.
I don't think you forego a cost 1+ if you're running the double drop searcher.
Yeah, like you're not gonna use like both the double drop search and the Riki usually.
You will.
Like you will. It's the Riki is a +2. You can get 2 cards off of it for 1 damage and 1 stock, and then a drop searcher.
Well, if you use that Riki, you kind of have to use the double drop search anyways because you're plussing shitty cards.
I mean, yeah, but like the double drop search is also just pre-refresh compression, which is also just good in general. Like you don't mind using the drop searcher because you're actively compressing your deck.
I mean, you could say the same about the Shimakaze combo. Shimakaze combo actively compresses your deck, and this doesn't. This is like a minor addition.
Yeah, the obvious benefit of this combo is that it'll let you win board compared to Shimakaze.
Like the other benefit of this combo is it stays on board for the rest of the game until you decide to play over it. Whereas, like, you'll have to re-get your Shimikazes after they die.
Well, if you have to play over the card...
Like, if you decide to play over this, then yeah, it's gone. But, like, if you don't play over this, like, if you just keep them in your back row, then they're going to stay in their back row for at least 2, 3, 4 turns, like, until you need to play over it.
Well, like, you probably want to brainstorm along with the Chris, right? In your back row.
It depends. So there's 2 play styles you can do with brainstorms. You can be the active brainstorm every other turn, make sure you always have brainstorm in back row, or you can be hold the brainstorm in hands when you need to use a brainstorm for like milling through your deck. You just play it to the front row, tap your back row type of player. Like there's various play styles you can do.
You could also just not run the Chris brainstorm. You could just run an Aqua or something, man. It's not necessary.
Well, no. The issue is crowded back row because he's saying you'd to avoid the minus from having to get rid of the zombie, you'd put the zombie in your back row. But like,
no, not the zombie.
Then how do you get rid of the 1/1? You just play over it?
Oh, if the 1/1, yeah. When you need to get rid of the 1/1, you just play over it.
Right.
Typically,
so
like
if you have to play over the 1/1, that inherently just.
But you won't have to play over the 1/1 until like usually late level 2, early level 3.
But it's still a minus.
Well, as soon as the opponent has early play,
it's a minus, but it survives
every
like
turn.
It's a minus, but the 1/1 will survive 2 to 3 turns. So it's plussing itself just by staying on the field.
Does it actually survive 2 to 3 turns? Because if you accelerate your opponent to level 2, it just immediately dies again.
Well, it always survives.
Not necessarily. It's a zombie.
Well, it always survives, but do you always want it to survive?
I mean, you have 2 different counters you can use. You have the 1/5, and then you also have the 2/1 3/5 counter if you really need to defend it and make sure it doesn't deal you a damage.
I mean, even the 3/5 counter doesn't make it. It makes it what, 11k? Basically, every early play beats over that.
Or 11.
Oh wait, 12k. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't like zombie characters in general, and I don't think they're like decent until you have like actual Sayaka's wish or some shit, and even then they're kind of sketchy.
My theory on zombie characters is how many pluses can you get off of it before it deals you damage. If it gives you 2, 3 pluses, it's equivalent to the cost of like an early game Riki. Plus more, because you just got more value out of it just from how long it survived on the board.
Yeah, but you also paid like stock. So
you paid one. You pay a stock.
And you don't want to like you want a Riki early game, but you don't really want a Riki at like late level 1 or late level 2. Like Rikiing then is pretty garbage. Like you don't want to take extra damage in those levels, and that's where the
that's all
zombie
actually
like starts dealing extra damage.
Yeah, that's all very dependent on the state of the game, the state of your damage versus your opponent, the tempo on the game. If you can see that you think the zombie is going to die, you've already gotten value out of it, you can preemptively play over it if you suspect that your opponent has the ability to kill it.
Yeah, but then you didn't actually if you feel like that turn, then you maybe plus once of the zombie. Is that good enough to like commit a card like that to the deck?
It's typically like with the amount of decks, like the only things that are typically going to kill it are early plays. And it depends on. You also have the 3/2 darkness that also has the pay 1 swap run ability, so you can also use that to not take a damage. Sure, you're paying another stock, but you survive longer just from having these scry rolls out on the board as well.
Well, okay, if you're getting the
I don't think you have to exactly play the 1/1 either. I mean, you could just use.
I mean, you don't have to play the 1/1.
Yeah,
but you can use it with. There aren't very many good options in yellow for beaters.
Presumably, it'd have to be a Chris or a Darkness character.
Yeah,
it's because the double drop symmetry is what makes this tick. Did we want to, give our ratings on this card?
I think it has to be niche. I mean, you do have to build around.
It's not necessarily. It still hits yellow and adventure. It's still a plus combo. It functions as a tap 1/5 back row. Personally, it is a top 4 plus combo versus a search. That's based off of searching is active compression, whereas top 4 is just milling. So that's wherever you value that at. Outside of that, I think this card is, in my opinion, like good minus the playable plus.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with niche. I just think this is too much like actual workaround to make this like anywhere on a decent same level as like the other level 1 combos.
Well, so the other issue is that if you're playing with the change combo, you do need active a more active milling than just a brainstorm, because playing through refresh with that combo can be a bit to make sure you get certain cards.
This only gives you extra mills if you draw multiples of the climax combo, which you can't ever bank on.
I mean, you also have brainstorm, so it's redundancy. You have this in combination with brainstorm effects.
Yeah, but this is actually kind of anti-synergy with the brainstorm because you can't use it to tap give power.
Yes, but you don't always again. You typically hit the climax itself is 2k 2 soul to 2 characters. You hit power. Power is not an issue in this deck.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I think me and Paik were niche. He was on playable plus to good minus, and you guys are, I don't know.
I think I'm niche.
Can I get a niche plus? I do like the idea of free mill.
Sure.
Yeah, I do really like the idea of free mill. And then, as you said, it's even if it's really neat, you have to build around it. The pay 1, pay 2, ditch 2 is easy to set up with this. So niche plus seems right.
Okay.
Is Alfred dead? What the fuck?
No, I've just been sitting here listening to you guys argue.
Oh, that's great.
It's kind of funny, actually.
Next card.
Cool. Next card is Sightseeing in Akara. It's Alcaratio, wasn't it? I don't remember. Arakan ratio. Okay, sure. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay 1 and clock the top card of your deck. If you do, look up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 2 yellow characters you find there to your hand, put the rest in your waiting room.
GG plus 2.
Yeah. I've played roughly 35 matches with using this index. I've hit 2 climaxes twice.
It's about 70% chance to hit 2. Which isn't bad. If assuming all of your characters are yellow.
Yeah.
You're not running any events. And then hitting at least 1 is like all but guaranteed, I think. It's like, yeah, 97%. So
Like, if I'm playing mono yellow, I'm definitely playing this like as a 4 of. It's like pretty good.
Yeah, but like by definition, this has to be niche, right?
No, man.
This can
I
only
think so,
play
yeah.
it in mono yellow.
This can only
And
be,
unless
yeah.
mono yellow is the specific meta deck, this can only be niche.
Well, I guess in that context, sure. But it's pretty good.
Niche plus, you can put it as
Niche
niche,
plus,
I think
man.
it's a good
Yeah, you
card.
can play it as niche plus. This is like one of the payoffs you have for going mono yellow. This is like
Yeah.
the only
It's,
payoff.
it's, it's a payout. It's a payout piece for mono yellow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, she looks so cute in this picture too, man. Like, come on. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh god.
Wait, wait.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm on niche.
On niche.
Wow, what a pooper.
Okay.
If no one else has any opinions, we can move on.
Yeah.
0025 Darkness
boy.
and Swimsuit.
There goes the
Holy
shit.
monetization.
There are 2 or fewer cards in stock. This game's 1-5. I have this deck box. I regret buying this deck box.
Yeah,
I can never use it anywhere.
I
have the
can't
same.
use it anywhere.
It's a 004K. That's about it.
Casual.
Dude, you can't just say
that's-
it's a 004K. I mean, if you play it with the old set one, like Global 5, like, this thing's, like, unkillable.
It's a
It's,
4-5, and
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
gets
the
bombed.
Global 5, yeah.
I
It's
mean,
like-
if you play it in a deck that has red for some reason, it's 5K.
Yeah, that
Use the
too.
Salvage Brainstorm.
This is like
It's like
I've been
okay.
testing this with the
Do you have any other
swapping out
yellow
between.
options as far as like?
There's a level there's a 0025 or 2K where you run your opponent's card.
Oh, the
Oh yeah, I love
chaser.
that
the
card.
2K, yeah. I think this is better than that.
Yeah. This so a lot of people have been. There's been a community push from a lot of different people saying that beaters aren't good, and then there's been also like a simultaneous community push that level 0 reversers, just if they don't have secondary utility function, aren't good, and so you have decks
Yeah.
that don't have answers to beaters and only have runners. So
shit don't make
cards
sense.
like these are very defined on your local metagame or whatever tournament or whatever decks you think are coming. If you don't think people are playing answers to a 4K, I think 4Ks are fine.
Well, it's like it's
if you
usually
think-
dependent on your color.
Yeah,
selection.
Yeah,
It's usually
the thing is
dictated
that
by
the
what
Mega
color
Man
you need
runner.
the most. I think. Right.
The thing is that the Mega Man runner is basically only a plus if you go first, because if you go
Yes.
second, it's just gonna
Yeah.
die.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And
So
this,
I think this is probably
What-
one of your
did Alf say
options of
something?
beater of choice, so that it's just playable.
I
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
I definitely prefer the mover though, because like if you're playing an on reverse Shimakaze combo, like the 4K just doesn't feel as good for like setting up. But otherwise, like this will definitely plus you at times.
yeah, it's
Like especially if you're playing with the combo J-Dubs mentioned before, the 2K2. This is pretty good for that.
yeah. I've plussed at level 0 more than I should.
I can see that.
Okay. Next card.
Yep, next card is Forerunner Darkness. So 1045. When it attacks, choose another character with magic or adventurer. That character gains X power, where X is, well, it's usually about 2K. X is 500 times the number of your other characters. And then it's got character encore. It's noticeable that this can be changed into by I forget exactly what it is. Another 10 Darkness, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the forget the actual.
It's like it gets power every time another character attacks. I think is the text on that other card.
Yeah, it doesn't do a great deal, but
Like, it's just like a mod. It's like a modal beater, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all
that
right.
seems about right.
I like that this says hand encore. Apart from that, just
Hand on claw. It's
pretty,
me. Yeah.
pretty standard effect, right? I think this makes it better than like vanilla Shimakaze Kai cards, if that is of any relevance. But
Yeah,
I
but
don't think
you
that's
need to have
that
like
big
a
a deal.
specific reason to put Shimakai cards in your deck. I'm not sure if this deck needs them, but like you're pretty starved for level 1 options anyways in yellow.
Yeah,
Yes.
it might get played depending on your deck variant, just because of the lack of level 1 options. It depends on your deck style, though.
Yeah, like in mono yellow, you might run this just because you
it's
are
yellow.
stuck for other options.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll play this in anything else. It's like niche, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say
I
niche.
think so. Yeah, for Pike, it's good meta plus, but we'll leave that to him.
Dude, I can hold back. Don't worry about it.
I don't believe you. I actually just don't believe you.
He's been fapping throughout the entire review. Don't worry.
That
You
is my
definitely tap
assumption.
on presence now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else on this card?
It's flavorful.
Okay. Next card.
Yeah, all right. Next card is the level 3 that we talked about. Do we need to talk about it again?
Well, Vanya technically goes inside her, so I think it's pretty,
Okay.
you know.
Well, we can't. I don't know if we can rate this the same as the Vanir. So
No. I think this is like
It's different. Like
Probably
Vanir can go
playable,
in anything. Vanir is like it's a baseline Musashi. This only goes with Vanir,
Yeah.
or with the Vanir change and Vanir, which I'm not convinced is the play.
does that make this niche then?
Maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like niche plus, I think, because
Yeah,
I do
I
think
think
it's
niche plus is
really,
fair.
it has some really powerful effects on it. Like, holy like look, just look at the effects. It's a field swapper, and it's got this
it gains
superior
power when it
stride.
gets changed into.
Yeah, well, not with the level 1, but with the level 3 certainly.
Yeah.
And like the power barely even matters. Like if you change into it at one, anything that your opponent can kill this with, you can probably run away from. And if they can't kill it, then you can run in front of something that they were trying to kill. Like
Yeah.
at level 1, the field control is immense, and that's why I think we can actually talk about this. And
The problem with the level 1 though is like the change itself is 3 stock, and this field swap is another stock.
yeah, it's expensive.
I think that's
for-
that's the
I mean,
biggest problem
you're
with
not-
that
you're-
card. I
need to
think.
actually pay the cost for the
You-
field
you-
swap.
You usually don't. Sometimes it's relevant, but like it's relevant probably 20% of games that you might need to field swap the turn you change. But it depends on how fast you hit your opponent to 2. Because sometimes like you change, or like you just sometimes people just eat damage.
This also needs to change. Like this needs to be changed into to get the power. So.
Yeah, change it to from the 3
only
to.
from the level 3. The level 1 does not give it.
Yeah.
Yeah, level 1 doesn't give it.
But even still, like it's still base 10k power and still a field swap, and it's still a scry wall. So like, really good. Like getting out this pretty like early at level 1 can just, if your opponent doesn't have an answer, it can just be doomed, because you're probably
the
can't
only
use.
real answer is win triggers, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're not gonna most of the time. It's not gonna get anti-change. Dude, if James can pay 3 for Hanaya, I can pay 3 for Darkness. Just makes sense, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You can also just play the
do
hand on
this
core
niche,
system,
actually.
like
But,
just hand on core her.
I like
Someone
these
else
Even
thinks
things.
niche plus. Yeah, that's
Everyone
what I
else
thought.
is-
Just on the
Yeah.
I want to just to note the one cost field swap kind of sucks, but if you think of it as a 1 cost plus, or even a 1 cost plus 2 when you're swapping with Darkness, then it starts to sound a lot more worth it, like a lot more worth it. But yeah, no, I'm staying on niche plus.
1
because-
cost plus, a very good character to field.
I mean, it's 1 cost, probably kill one of their characters, and that's already really. Oh god, this meme card.
Nice.
I love memes.
That back
Why
I
does
love
do
memes too.
the Kazuma cards have to suck so much?
I don't know, because you touch
this
yourself at night.
This oh. Okay.
Yeah, I
This
know,
is like
right?
Onodera,
So-
but like
Was-
the worst
okay,
Onodera
Dr.
you've ever seen.
A 3/2 10k. If there are 2 or more emblem of a distinguished family in your memory, this gets -1 level while in your hand.
It's Niseko
When
all
this-
over again.
When this is placed from hand to stage, Look it up to X cards from the top of your deck, add 1 and put in your hand, where X is the number of adventurer or goddess characters. So, because Onodera was clearly the strongest
is
card,
so far
aside
removed from
Haruka.
Onodera. Holy
No.
Oh
See,
my God.
because this is basically Onodera, this is broken. It's a 4 of in every yellow Konosuba deck. Good meta plus.
Oh, bad.
Easy.
I think.
This is bad.
Wait, no.
This is terrible.
Do you have better dig than this?
This is
In the Diablo
Oh.
deck?
Oh,
You don't have better dig.
alright.
Chris is
Okay, then
the
it's not
one-
bad. Fuck.
Top
The
3,
only
right?
other
Forgot about
dig.
that.
Wait, which Chris?
The
Oh,
only-
the stupid like on attack like Sengoku Basara then?
No, that
God.
Chris doesn't dig.
That's a
Chris
heal.
is
I
heal play.
forgot.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty sure
forgot
Chris-
about
The-
it because,
the dig-
like,
the
in
other
Magic,
dig is
you just
the
play
draw two,
old
ditch
Mega
one.
Man.
You have the check top 3 Megamine, and then you have the draw 2 ditch 1 Aqua.
Okay, this is your dig.
Yeah, just pretend you're playing Tula Brew if you played that card.
Just pretend you're playing this
no.
as a vanilla 3-2 check top X, and you're gonna
That
be
is-
fine.
Utterly
No.
depressing. Grief.
So what, like
It's like niche.
niche? Playable
Yeah.
mine? Okay, yeah, alright.
I'm giving it playable minus. I'm sorry.
I want to go niche minus because I can't find a good 3-color build.
I mean, if you really need a dig, you play it, but otherwise,
What are you playing blue for?
That's the issue. I can't find a good reason to put blue in a goddamn 3-color deck.
Yeah, so why are you not just running this as your dig option?
Because flavor.
Alright.
Sure. You don't have to play the event sucks.
Yeah, I know it does suck, but
Dude, we got an alarm card.
It also sucks, let's move on. Bad.
Alright, next card, Dignity of the Head of the Family, Darkness's Father, notable for having no traits. Alarm, if this is on top of the clock.
Wait, this has no
Give a
traits?
what the fuck? You
Yes.
should have royalty trade.
This is so
Oh my
bad.
God.
Holy.
Bushiroad, come on.
Actually, you should have royalty trade, yeah.
At the start of your climax phase, give a Wise character, so a Darkness, 3k for the turn.
Amazing.
I'm very
Yeah,
sad he has no
um,
trait.
I don't think this,
This is bad.
playable. Yeah.
yeah, let's get this out of here.
Okay, next card.
This is bad. Questioning Witnesses, Senna, 102k. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may discard a card from your hand. It's not a Azusa, don't worry. If so, search your deck for up to 1 Chris, Mitsurugi, Themaya, or Theo, and put in your hand and shuffle your deck. So this is a cool flavor card because basically those 4 are witnesses on the trial in the anime.
Wow.
So yeah, that's why this card exists.
Wait,
It's bad.
is this an uncommon?
Yeah, it's not.
Ah, I can't even put in a popper deck. Damn it.
Bad? Okay.
It's bad. Like it does nothing. It has bad traits, glasses only.
Oh, it's only
But it's
I
cool
wanted a
flavor.
popper deck, and it doesn't work because it's uncommon. Get this out of here.
Okay, next card. Lady of a Distinguished Family, Darkness, 104k. When it's placed from hand to stage, give a character with either Adventurer or Magic 1/5 for the turn. Change, put this in the waiting room. Get the Forerunner Darkness, the on-attack Shimakai thing, in your waiting room. Put it in this card's.
This is awesome.
You just pump a billion power to
yeah.
1 card.
It's like
pumps
a lot of power.
Two cards.
A
Wow.
lot.
Well, you
This is a lot of power.
pump it to 2 cards. You
can
like
pump
you
it
go.
to itself, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, but you still have shitty cards on field, and this takes up way too much space. I think if you play the thing, the
I mean,
Shimakai, you're not even playing this probably.
Oh.
I think the combo is you just
Even if this is cute.
it's cute, but like I think the concept was you go like double the Shimakaze or the on reverse search. You play this, you pump one of them, you change, you pump the other one,
Yeah.
and then you hand encore this. But it's a lot of deck slots for something that's just kind of cute.
So, yeah. Okay.
Niche minus, I guess.
If you didn't want to play the 1/1, I guess you could do this for a costless option.
Yeah, if you
Which
That's
is
basically-
depressing, to say the least.
Christian, you're.
I
Well, you
think
gotta
that
do
is,
this
I
now.
think that does sound a lot worse than like a combo.
So good meta plus.
Okay.
Okay, you can go back.
What?
No, it's nothing.
No, this card is good meta plus.
Oh yeah, this card.
All right.
We got some deck memes
Um,
boys.
Yeah, we put this as dank meme rating. Strongest at rock paper scissors, Kazuma 105k. Experience
Oh,
when
wait,
it's
no,
placed
I
from
know
hand to
it.
stage. If you have 2 or more experience, play rock paper scissors with your opponent until you lose. If you win 4 or more times, deal 4 damage to your opponent. This is the most.
Dude, I also said good meta plus.
Dude, if
This is
you're
the
a
most-
god, you have to play this.
This is
So-
the most
so, no.
efficient.
You
It's
know,
the most
if you
efficient
know how
finisher
to, if
in
you
the
know how
history
to,
of Weiss.
if you
Like
know
it
to
is.
game people at rock paper scissors, this is the best card.
No,
Yeah.
so some college did a article that says you can actually get good at rock paper scissors because humans are actually pretty bad at being random, and you can just learn the metagame.
Yeah, absolutely. If
That's
you
what.
know the
That's
metagame.
exactly what Mr. Paddywagon thinks too.
So what you do
Rock,
here
paper,
is
scissors
you
meta.
learn
Holy.
you learn the metagame for everyone in rock paper scissors. You play this card enough times, and after maybe 3-4 years of playing your local circuit, you will be able to play last shot Sinon at level 1 over and over again until your opponent
For
dies,
free.
and you will
For
just
free.
it's a 0 cost last shot Sinon on a body that's barely undersized, good traits, very easy experience requirement.
You just dropped 3 of these, and now you have to play a bunch of.
Yeah. If you win in rock, look, this is actually the strongest card in Weiss Schwartz. If there was ever a Weiss Schwartz video game with this in it, any tool-assisted speedrun would use this because this is by far the most efficient finisher. It's an uncommon, easy to get. I think that this is the card that will define the metagame 400 years in the future when we are all IQ 7,000 machines and can game.
If one of them is IQ
And year
7,000,
20XX?
then the other one is IQ 7,000, so they can just like mind game each other.
Yeah,
Can you
exactly.
recycle
But
this?
the person who's practiced more, the person who's learned
You
more,
can just
will be the best.
play the salvage brainstorm.
And you can play the pay to salvage bomb. Yeah.
So yeah, this is basically unbeatable. I highly recommend everyone get
Is
good
this
at
the
rock,
only
paper,
card
scissors.
with experience in Konosuba? Except for like
Oh.
the 1-0.
There's some stuff from the first set that like some level 2s or some level 1s or some stuff that has experience. They're not good cards, but they do exist.
So
Wait,
yeah,
what the hell?
broken card.
Oops, wrong effect. Okay. Next card.
This is bad.
Alright.
Let's move on. Don't play this ever.
Yeah, we went from the best card in the set to arguably the worst card in the set. 1155.
Wait, the alarm's worse than this
Kazuma.
card.
No, this is worse
I
than the
don't
alarm.
know. I don't know about
100%.
that. The alarm
Hey,
card
man,
can
at
come
least this
down
is like
and
a
be a
7K.
speeder.
The alarm card is support for darkness, so it's automatically better.
Dude, this is a 7-5 beater, guys.
7-5
Come
beater.
on.
7-5 beaters at
What?
plus.
The alarm card can make your darkness level 1 combo bigger. This doesn't do anything.
It's a
Except
7-5
sock.
beater, duh.
Okay, so if I can
Nice.
finish reading the card, 1155, it's a 7-5 beater, as these guys have been saying for the last 5 minutes. When this attacks, if you have a shot in the climax zone, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is an adventurer or goddess trait, add it to your hand. Otherwise, put it back. You can't get whiz with this. That's a flavor fail.
But Wiz
Cool.
isn't on the climax,
Doesn't even make
so-
sense how bad this is. This seems so understated. Let's just move on.
I've played with a similar card in Da Capo and Newspaper, which is much better, and it's terrible. So
It's like the
this is
Kirito.
also
Dude, it's a
terrible.
better Kirito.
Let's move
What?
on.
Are you talking about the 1/1 Kirito that searches?
The 1/1 Kirito that searches is better. It
Yeah.
tutors like
It's 1/6. It's
And
6K
that-
though.
Yeah, but you got that sweet.
6/5.
You have that sweet event that you can give it 2k extra power with.
Yeah, it's 6/5 seed. You play the seed and then you accelerate it right back, and then you've gone mad plus.
Okay,
Like,
let's
I
not
wasn't-
talk
I wasn't
about-
talking- I wasn't talking about
got you to
the
say the
well-
seed.
I think
was
you
talking
guys
about
Guys,
the
we're
seed.
going off track.
All right. You people need to calm the frick down. None of you have played Kirito Waifu like I have, so you'll need to
I
shut
have
up.
Kirito waifu.
Okay, man, Jada, you are a man of culture, my friend. How would you like to replace Tim Tom on the top tier tiers advisory board? Man of culture. All right. Anyway, Kirito Waifu is my rating for this card.
All right.
The next card, Seeing Off Ruffians. Ruffian is his name, apparently. That's really sad. I wouldn't want that to be anyone's name. 2-1-5k. During your turn, all other Kazumas in the front row center slot gain 1-5 power. And when another battle opponent becomes reversed, give a character 3k. That is a lot of power. The problem with this is
we don't need to waste a lot of time on shitty cards, to be honest.
Yeah, but we need to talk about why it's shitty. Like, during your turn, Kazumas get 1-5. There are no good Kazumas to give power to. The last card is Kirito Waifu tier. Ignore it. And when the battle opponent becomes reversed, etc., etc., giving something 3k sounds good, but that's just not really helpful, especially if
you don't have anything that wants to reverse. Done.
You use it with the whiz. Don't use it with the whiz. Don't.
Okay. Next card. 100% hit rate, Darkness, 2-6k. Level 3 assist for 2k power. And up to once a turn, when another character with Adventure or Magic is placed from hand to stage, give another character 1 level till the end of the turn following this turn. Did they change the wording on that? Till the end of the opponent's next... Oh, I understand.
It's the
No.
Attack on Titan.
No, yeah, but the wording matters because freeze exists.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
It also matters for anti-change counters, for the record.
Not until the end of the turn following this turn.
No, a turn following this turn versus end of your opponent's next turn. Clearly, this would be too unbalanced if freeze was put into play, because they would be on for 3 turns.
Yeah.
I was wondering why they worded it this way. I'm glad you figured it out. Thank you.
I'm pretty much the best person in the Weiss Schwartz community. You're welcome. Oh my gosh, that's so terrible. Freeze got support, guys. No, this is a what does this even do?
Like,
if you're playing Darkness Waifu, it makes getting the first set early play out easier if you're also using the global 500.
Yeah, it does that, and
it.
Like can randomly trip people into anti-change counters. But it's like, I mean, you don't really have a better 2k assist. Like, you actually don't have a better 2k assist, so you can just play this as a 2k assist.
Well, and like all of Konosuba.
You anti-change a hexproof dark.
Yeah, like all of Konosuba.
So the other assist that Konosuba has is you have the Wiz 2k assist, which is just off trait because it's
It comes with the stock soul.
Yeah, that comes with the stock soul.
This is only relevant if you need the power, right?
Well, then you also have the Yun Yun, that early play that it's a 2/2, but blind stocks.
Wait, that 2/2 is sick though.
Yeah, it is sick.
Yeah, if you play the magic, if
you're playing magic, it's sick.
You're just playing
Otherwise, it's just a 1k assist.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd obviously just play the magic. So, do you need the like where would you? I don't know where you'd play this.
You literally only play it in Darkness Waifu in a deck that's looking to like early play.
Right. I mean, because that deck cares about power. Like in the other decks, I don't.
I mean, you can play it at that. You can also play. In the regular yellow deck, this helps Vanir get over stuff without like actually being scared of fucking dying everywhere.
That is
what
he's only 10-5.
If you play the change, I guess.
Yeah, if you play the change, this makes this bigger.
Otherwise, like, you usually have, like, an open slot to attack into a level 3, so...
I think this matters for Vanir, as Christian said.
Okay. Yeah, because he's only 10-5 offensively, kind of. If you're playing the back row, Papa.
Yeah, it's niche.
I'd give it playable.
It's also cute, unlike this card.
Dude, this card's just kinky.
If you don't like her at her worst, you don't deserve her at her best.
No, just don't
like her. This scene was hot and you know it.
Face, whatever. Something's weird about this card.
Okay, I'll just improve it real quick. 1 second.
Yeah, just improve it. Yeah, that's way better.
There you go.
Way better.
Okay.
There. All right. With that in mind, yeah, it seems good in base yellow decks, I guess. It's like whatever. Stubborn Will, Darkness.
This is a runner anti-change stock bomb, which is pretty
It's
decent.
not a runner. It is not
It's a
a
chaser,
real
right?
runner. It is
Oh,
a
chaser, yeah. Sorry.
which is very important for flavor reasons. She ran in front of something she wants to. She wants this. So I think that this is really cool because it's like a preemptive anti-change, right?
Yeah.
Because you can go into your opponent's turn. Like normally, the problem with anti-change stock bombs is that when you use it, your opponent gains tempo because they get an empty lane. Whereas with this, your opponent is the one who loses tempo.
Right,
They're the one
okay.
forced to attack it.
So you're
Yeah, but
saying
they can
so,
just
so
put
you're
their
saying you want to
replay
play it
lane
when you
where
hit
this
level 2
is, and then
first.
So
unless you
the
like have an
issue.
empty field except for this, they can still already play.
So there's an
Yes.
issue using this card, and that the only way this card's really going to be effective is if you have an empty board outside of this card,
Yeah.
I mean,
because
this
you're
can
not
get
you're
big,
not
right?
playing the anti-change counter from Konosuba. Going -3 to anti-change is just bad value, and so you still have to like lose tempo just because you have to crash your board. You have to crash 2 slots versus just crashing 1 if you want to chase a early play to actually kill it. Otherwise,
Wait.
it just
The anti-change counter isn't a -3.
you have to play
Yeah,
it and you have to dish too.
Yeah, but you're gonna save a card, so it's not a -3.
I mean, it's -3 from
minus-
hand. You're saving.
Well, it's a -2. You're saving a card.
-2. You're saving a card.
Yeah,
Probably.
and you can possibly get a plus. You can possibly go for like 2 for 1, because you could like that's. I'm not saying
That's
it's
kind
not
of
gonna-
unlikely.
it's a
though.
1K counter,
Counter
so it's not
comes
realistic.
1K. Whatever, this is still a vanilla anti-change bomb, so this is
Yeah, it's
already
not even no
playable.
SGH bomb, so it's fine.
Yeah, look, I'm glad someone brought that up because when I say it does positive, it's not without obvious drawbacks. Now, the real play is to eventually stand by this on your level 1 when your opponent early plays and. All right, I'm not gonna say anything
I'm
silly
on a
This one
crusade
regarding that.
against
Doesn't have
anti-change
standby,
bombs, so I'm
doesn't
gonna
it?
put playable minus.
Dude, I give this kinky plus, dude. This scene was so hot.
Oh shit.
You have weird tastes. That is like.
Uh
That's like. Are you attracted to clowns?
oh.
Alright, let's ignore that question and move on.
Crap. Uh-oh.
You know, the only reason he's saying that is because his answer is yes, and he doesn't want to tell everybody. Next card. Pool Butler, Kazuma. It's a 001K.
Froze.
Oh, excellent. Pause the recording. We can pick it up later.
Shit.
Dude, what has to happen for this fucking to freeze, man? Oh my god. For the screen, are we using Alf's screen? Is that how it works?
No, we're using
Oh no. Use Tom's. Do you think I would change from that vibrant sky blue ever?
Oh, can we please bring that back?
Yeah.
It feels like a part of like TTT's identity was lost.
We got our number 1 viewer here telling us to change it back, Tom. I think I have to deliver an ultimatum. Change it back, or I'm replacing you with J-Dubs.
Is Tom even alive still?
I'm still here. My computer's just thinking really hard.
It's just sleeping.
About
It's not
how the
dead.
2-1 that goes into Kirito wife with his Mohawk trade?
Yeah, man.
What are the chances you lose all the footage if your computer just like
Could happen. That would suck.
Could happen. We had a shouting match
Alfred
earlier.
and me are very used to this by now.
This is
Yeah.
like a. We. I hope I don't lose this.
We did rewrite twice, and it got lost both times. It was great.
holy. Well, at least it was rewrite.
Yeah, like everyone knows what rewrite is. Broken.
Wait, did we actually lose shit?
I'm pretty sure we lost it, didn't we?
How did we lose it?
God fucking damn it.
How'd we lose it? Didn't it just didn't record the first time? And then the second time something really weird happened?
No, I mean like right now.
Oh, Tom
I
froze.
don't
Tom's
know.
computer froze.
It's.
It's
oh
not
my
it's not a Macintosh X. If it was a
Oh,
Macintosh X, it
fucking
would
Apple
okay.
sheep.
Yeah, the sheeple would have saved the cast. Sheep.
This is why you save in between, do it in 2 parts.
I think that's fine. I don't see an issue with that.
I have to leave in like an hour and 20 minutes.
We're only doing yellow today. Is it
So we can return